Today's date is July 13th, 2021. We are going on the video record at 2:31 p.m. We're located at 4 Town Center Drive in University Park, Illinois. We're here for the purpose of taking the videotape deposition of Mayor Joseph E. Roudez III. The party on whose behalf the deposition is being taken is the plaintiff, and the party whose instance the deposition is being recorded on an audio-visual device is the plaintiff. This case is instituted in the Circuit Court of the 12th Judicial Circuit, Will County, Illinois. The case number is 16-CH-2048. The case is entitled Michael Realty and Associates, Inc. et al. Versus Village of University Park. My name is Izetta White McGee. I am a certified legal video specialist, certified shorthand reporter, and notary public from 321 Legal Video, located at 77 West Washington, Chicago, Illinois. I will now ask counsel to introduce themselves, stating your name and address, starting with the plaintiff's counsel first.
Dan Garbis, Garbis. My address is at 7330 North Cicero Avenue, Lincolnwood, Illinois, 60712.
Joshua Rosenzweig, Rosenzweig. Office address is 1804 North Naper Boulevard, Suite 350, Naperville, Illinois, 60563.
Thank you. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
It is.
Thank you. Please proceed, counsel.
Good morning, or good afternoon. Mr. Roudez, could you please state your name for the record and spell your last name?
Joseph Roudez, Roudez.
Do you understand that you are under oath and that you are being under oath means that you are sworn to tell the truth?
Yes.
Have you ever had your deposition taken in the past?
Yes.
You understand that your responses here have the same force and effect as in a courtroom with a judge and a jury?
Correct.
Are you prepared to answer my questions today?
Yes.
There isn't anything that will prevent you from providing me with your full attention.
State that again.
I said there isn't anything that will prevent you from providing me with your full attention.
I understand.
Okay.
Because that's the statement you gave me, not a question.
Okay. Are you taking any medications that will prevent you from answering my questions?
No.
Will you let me know if you do not understand any of my questions?
Yes.
Okay, and if you need to take a break from time to time, just tell me and we'll take a break. Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever used any other names other than Joseph Roudez?
No.
Any nicknames?
No.
What is your date of birth and where were you born?
August 4th, 1962, in Chicago, Illinois.
What is your social security number? We can go off the record, I guess, for that. Or you can just give it to me after the fact. Okay, we'll do
You want
that.
to do it after the fact.
Sure. What is your current address?
607 Hickok Avenue, University Park, Illinois, 60484.
How long have you lived there?
Since 05.
Where did you live previously to that address?
In 822 Black Oak, University Park, Illinois, 60484.
Are you currently married?
Correct.
And what's your wife's name?
Linda.
Roudez?
Correct.
What is your spouse's occupation?
Self-employed.
Self-employed as what kind of work?
Medical transport.
Speak up a little bit.
Okay.
Do you have any children, Mr. Roudez?
Yes.
How many?
4.
Are they currently employed?
I believe so.
Are they employed with the Village of University Park?
1.
The time is 2:36. We're going off the record. The time is 2:37. We're going back on the record. Please proceed, counsel.
We're at, if one of your children was employed at University Park, what kind of work does he do?
He's a public works technician.
When did he become a public works technician with the University Park?
I don't know.
Is it more than 2 years?
I don't know.
Okay. Mr. Roudez, did you attend school?
Yes.
What's your level of education, the highest level of education that you attained?
2 years of college.
Which college did you attend?
Olive Harvey Community.
Did you get any kind of a degree?
Business. Associates.
And after you got your associate's degree, you didn't decide to go for the full 4 years?
No.
Have you ever been arrested?
Yes.
One.
Let me see. "46 years ago for curfew."
How many minutes were you late? You don't have to answer.
They really enforced it then.
Have you ever been convicted of a crime?
No.
Have you ever been involved in any other legal claims or lawsuits? Have you personally ever been involved in any legal claims or lawsuits?
Yes.
When and where?
In the 90s,
What kind of cases are there?
it was when my wife and I were kidnapped and carjacked, and we filed suit against the Burger King at 68th and Stony Island.
So you were the plaintiff?
Correct.
Any other lawsuits?
No.
Any lawsuits for credit card payments? Nothing?
No.
How did you prepare for this deposition today?
Practice.
Who'd you practice with?
My counsel.
And by your counsel, are you referring to Mr. Rosenzweig?
Correct.
Other than your counsel, have you spoken to anyone else about this matter?
No.
Did you review any documents prior to this deposition?
I just reviewed. Yes.
Okay. What documents did you review if they're not attorney-client privilege? I don't want you to divulge attorney-client privilege.
His affidavit.
Is that David?
Yeah.
Got it. Any other documents?
Make sure you say yes or no so that Izetta can...
No.
Okay. Yeah, you've got to say it orally, so that way it's recorded. Okay, so now let's move to your employment. Where are you currently employed?
I'm self-employed. I do consulting work.
Just
You under
answer.
oath? You under oath?
Just
Yeah.
answer.
Yes.
Okay, what is your current position and who is your employer?
Self-employed consultant. And I'm also employed by the Village of University Park.
Okay, that's what I was angling for, but let's go back to your self-employed consultant. What is the consulting regarding?
Government affairs.
Who are your clients?
A mixed variety.
Give me a few. Is University Park one of your clients?
No. I have private clients, and I'm under NDAs with those guys.
Okay. So private clients, are you talking about private government clients or private individuals?
Individuals.
Are you also employed as the liquor commissioner of the University Park?
Yes.
Now, you can tell me what your mayoral salary is. What is the mayoral salary?
What is it? Wait, Merrill?
Mayoral.
Mayoral.
Mayoral. Your salary as a mayor.
23,000?
A year?
Yes.
And you also get a salary for being a liquor commissioner.
Yes.
And what's that salary?
6,000?
So, other than being the mayor and the liquor commissioner, does University Park have any other kind of title for you or job position for you?
No.
What other sources of income do you have other than as mayor and liquor commissioner?
I just told you I'm
The
self-employed.
self-employed consultant?
Correct.
And how much money do you make in that on an annual basis?
It varies.
It varies. Can you give me a range?
No.
Is it in the thousands? Is it in the hundreds of thousands?
In the thousands.
Would under 10,000 be an accurate reflection? Would under 50,000 be an accurate reflection?
It varies. Hard to say.
How much time do you devote as a mayor and a liquor commissioner on a daily basis?
It varies.
Is it more than 8 hours a day?
It varies.
On an annual basis, do you put 2,000 hours a year into being the mayor?
Way more.
3,000 hours
It's hard to calculate.
but it's way more than 2,000 hours a year. How about as liquor commissioner? How many hours do you think you put in as a liquor commissioner?
As many hours as necessary.
Is it over 100 hours a year?
I doubt it. No.
Less than 100 a year?
Yes.
Prior to being mayor, where did you work?
Ford Heights.
And what did you do at Fort Heights?
Consultant.
Were you officially on their payroll, or was it as your self-employed consultant?
Self-employed.
Prior to Fort, and when did you work at Fort Heights as a consultant?
17 through 19.
2000.
Until I became mayor.
Was that your sole source of income at that point? Fort Heights?
I don't remember.
Did you have any other consulting gigs at the time?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Were those clients that you could divulge?
It was like a mixed-use thing, man. You know, some people say, can you help out? I need you to come and speak for me here and there. I need a couple of things, so.
Okay.
Excuse me, we're gonna go off the record.
Are we back on the record?
We are?
Okay. So now, from 2017 to 2019, approximately when you became mayor, you were working as a consultant for Fort Heights. Prior to that, where did you work?
Self-employed.
Self-employed, again, as a consultant?
No. Transportation.
What kind of transportation were you doing?
Non-emergency medical.
Make sure you let him finish his question before you answer.
Yes.
Okay.
Non-emergency medical? And how many years did you work in the non-emergency medical self-employed?
Over 15.
So 2002 to 2017?
Over 15.
Were you also the trustee at the University Park at that time? A trustee?
At what time?
While you were self-employed as a transportation non-emergency medical consultant, were you also a trustee with the University Park?
Yes.
From what years? From what years were you a village trustee?
2005 to 2017.
Did you receive any kind of salary for being a village trustee?
Yes.
What was the annual salary?
12,000 annually.
Did you ever work at Men's Warehouse or K&G?
Yes.
When did you work at those places?
During the Ford Heights tenure.
So between 17 and 19? Were you getting paid salary or was it an hourly rate?
Salary.
What was the salary there?
I don't remember.
Did you ever work at Aflac Insurance?
Yes.
When was that?
Somewhere in that period.
17 and 19?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, turning our attention to more of the matters of this case. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Jerry Geneva?
Yes.
When did you first meet Jerry Geneva?
Be a little more specific with your question.
Okay, what year
I don't know.
did he work? Did you work with Mr. Geneva as a political consultant in 2014?
I don't remember what year it was.
Did you work with Jerry Geneva as a political consultant at any point in time?
No.
Okay. Did Mr. Geneva assist you in your unsuccessful campaign for mayor of University Park in 2015?
I'm just going to object as to form, but you can answer it.
The dates don't seem right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Why don't you ask him again?
let me ask a different question. Did Mr. Geneva assist you at any point while you were running for mayor of University Park?
Yes.
Okay. Could that time have been the 2015 mayoral
Yes.
election?
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure you let him finish before you answer. I'll keep reminding you. It's just part of the
That's
game.
fine. That's it.
Okay. So, at the very least, you had known Mr. Geneva since your mayoral campaign in 2015.
Yes.
Did Mr. Geneva also assist you in your campaign as Will County Commissioner in 2017?
Dan, what do you mean by assist?
Did he help in his campaign? Did he manage the campaign? Did he
Okay.
put any kind of effort into his campaign?
Shit, I forgot about that one. One more time.
Okay. When you ran as for Will County Commissioner
Yes.
in 2017,
Finish.
did Jerry Geneva assist you in your campaign?
Yes.
Okay. Did you pay Mr. Geneva any funds for this campaign management?
No.
What was Jerry Geneva getting out of his relationship with you in these campaigns?
Victories. Or defeats.
Understood. Now, did he expect any kind of compensation for assisting you in these campaigns?
I don't know.
Did Mr. Geneva assist you in your mayoral run in 2019?
Yes.
Did Mr. Geneva assist you in your midterm University Park elections for the village trustees in April of 2021?
One more time.
In the University Park midterm elections for village trustees that were in April of 2021, did Mr. Geneva assist you and your candidates?
Yes.
Is Jerry Geneva currently a public relations consultant for the village of University Park?
No.
From 2019 to the present, does Jerry Geneva receive any compensation from the village of University Park?
I don't know.
Does Jerry Geneva receive any compensation from you personally?
No.
Has Jerry Geneva ever received any compensation from you personally?
No.
What year did you first meet Robert Michael?
I don't know.
Was it around the same time that you met Mr. Geneva?
Yes.
Do you remember the occasion as to how you met Mr. Michael the first time you guys met?
No.
Do you remember what was discussed?
No.
If it was around 2014, 2015, were you the trustee, a trustee in the University Park at the time?
Yes.
Now, you stated that you were a village trustee from 2005 to 2017, correct?
Wait,
Yes.
thank you.
As a trustee, were you familiar with the University Park Golf Club and Conference Center, which I will refer going forward as the facility? Are you familiar with it?
Yes.
Okay. Who operated the facility prior to 2015?
If you know, or if you remember.
I don't remember prior to 2015. The village of University Park.
I believe it was the Village of University Park, but I don't want to answer for you. I mean, it seemed like it was self-managed by the University Park. Is that correct?
I don't know if there was someone in between after the village left or not. I don't remember that.
Okay. But from in 2014 or 2015, was the facility profitable for the village?
No.
Objection as to form, but you can answer.
No.
In fact, there was a lot of costs associated with operating the facility. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you happen to know how much monthly or annually the facility was costing the Village of University Park?
No.
Would $500,000 a year sound out of line?
I don't remember.
Would $80,000 a month sound out of line?
I don't remember.
At that time, you were a village trustee. Was the village board seeking alternatives for the operation of the facility?
Yes.
Did you personally perform any due diligence regarding the operation of the facility?
Repeat that question.
Did you perform any due diligence regarding the operation of the facility?
Are you asking as trustee at the
As
time?
a trustee at the time, yes.
I don't understand the question about due diligence.
I will rephrase. Did you look into other alternatives or seek other alternatives regarding the operation of the facility?
Are you asking me did I individually do it or collectively as a board of trustees?
I'm asking, as a trustee, did you take any kind of effort into looking
No.
into
My
it?
question to you is, are you asking me, did I individually do it? Because we do things collectively as a board. So I don't understand your question.
Then collectively as a board, because I don't think you, Mr. Roudez, individually was looking into it. As a trustee, were you looking into it? As a board member?
As a board member, I was a part of the board who sought after an alternative. One single trustee does not have the ability to bind or make an independent decision by themselves.
Understood, I agree. Now, on that board, there was various opinions. And in that board, there was some trustees that wanted to seek alternatives. Were you one of the trustees that wanted to seek alternatives versus keeping it status quo?
I'm going to object to form, but you can answer it as if you understood
I'm
it.
just trying to...
I understand, but I got to state the objection.
Repeat the question, and I'm going to give you the best answer to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Come on with it.
What I'm saying is, there was various trustees on the board, correct? There were some trustees that wanted to keep the status quo, correct?
No.
All the trustees wanted to change it.
All of the trustees wanted to reduce the expenses at the golf course.
Okay. Now, did some of these trustees seek alternatives in operating the facility?
I don't know if that is the proper way of phrasing it. Did they seek alternative? I would say no, but we were receptive to listening to presentations.
Okay. Are you familiar with a gentleman by the name of Professor Charles Hamburg of the Creative Hospitality Solutions?
Yes.
Okay, was he engaged by the board to provide a cost-saving proposal for the operation of the facility?
Yes.
And what were Mr. Hamburg's, Professor Hamburg's recommendations?
I don't recall.
Now, I can refresh your recollection. Did
Maybe.
Professor Hamburg recommend privatizing the operation of the facility?
I don't actually remember exactly what Chuck's role was. I don't know if it was his recommendation. I don't actually remember what the whole purpose was because he came for a different purpose.
What was his purpose?
Gaming.
He wanted to do gaming at the University Park facility? Did Professor Ham...
Make sure you say yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
That's a good catch.
Well, I'm just trying to help I set out.
Did Professor Hamburg recommend Michael Realty to make a proposal to the facility, to operate the facility?
Now that's a question you have to ask Michael Realty. I don't know if he recommended them or not.
Did Professor Hamburg recommend to the board to speak with Michael Realty about operating the facility?
I don't remember.
Did you or any other board members collectively meet with Michael Realty to discuss a proposal to operate the facility?
We were able to sit and listen to the presentations of a variety of vendors who were looking for the opportunity for privatization of the facility.
So is the answer yes? You spoke with Michael Realty regarding the...
We received the presentation for the record. The entire board sat there as the Realty Group made the presentation on what they could do to enhance the golf course, as the other groups who presented themselves did as well.
Did you conduct any due diligence on Michael Realty before or after listening to their proposal?
I don't understand the term due diligence. Would you just break it down a little further for me?
Sure. Due diligence means, did you look into them? Did you investigate? Did you do any kind of investigation or research on Michael Realty?
I don't remember if I did extensive research myself. I don't remember.
Okay.
But what I can remember is that one of the board members brought the fact, or maybe the mayor at that time brought up a fact regarding criminal history, murder, extortion, and things of that nature regarding the Michaels brothers.
Okay.
I can remember that. I can also can recall, well, go ahead.
So you're saying that there was criminal activity by Michael Realty?
Yes, well, I'm not saying there was criminal activity. I'm saying that there were spigots of information disseminated to the board members saying that they were a criminal enterprise, and there was things that were sent to the board members trying to discourage them about giving them the opportunity.
And when was that disseminated?
During that time period.
Prior to September of 2015?
I don't remember.
Did you meet with the community regarding proposals to operate the facility?
The community is always welcome to public forums. All the conversation, the public was invited to hear the workshops and the presentations from the variety of vendors.
So there was town meetings and
There
workshops?
were public workshops.
Got it. Did you discuss Michael Realty in any of these town meetings or workshops?
they were one of the presenters.
Okay. Now, did you personally perform any of this investigation, I call it due diligence, but research regarding Michael Realty prior to September 25th, 2015?
No.
So you didn't perform substantial due diligence, is what you're saying?
I answered your question.
Okay. I'm going to be showing you while I'm marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit, I guess, 1. Provide this over here. I've got copies for you as well.
Thank you.
You're going to keep the original that he has, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm showing you what I've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit number 1. Are you familiar with this document?
I've seen it.
Can you briefly tell us what this document is?
Proposal.
It's a proposal for what?
It clearly states on the front cover, a proposal for Mayor Vivian Covington and the Board of University Park Board of Trustees, University Golf Club and Convention Center.
Was this the proposal that was presented to the board for approval on September 25th, 2015?
I'm not sure if this had been amended or altered prior to then, so I'm not sure if this is the exact one that the board voted on and approved.
Okay. But there was a proposal that was presented to the board on September 25th, 2015 at a special board meeting. Is that correct?
Is that when the board meeting was, September 25th?
Yes, unless you're telling me otherwise.
No, I don't remember those dates. You know, that's
I can pull out the actual minutes if you'd like.
but that would be accurate.
Okay. So at this special meeting on September 25th, 2015, which was a Friday, did the board discuss the proposal for Michael Realty?
One more question.
At the special board meeting that was scheduled on Friday, September 25th, 2015, did the board discuss the proposal by Michael Realty? If you want, I can enter this as an exhibit, make it easier for everybody.
What is it?
It's the minutes.
Or is that the agenda? Is that the agenda or the
Yes,
minutes?
This is
That's the agenda, right?
Yes, for that meeting.
the agenda, and I believe the minutes are behind that. This is evidence that you
Yeah,
presented to us.
I'm just trying to make sure I know what it, why don't we, you want to mark that as
Sure, I'll
exhibit
mark
two?
as an exhibit since Mr. Roudez needs, I'll mark this as plaintiff's exhibit number 2. There you go.
Thank you.
I'm showing you what's been marked as plaintiff's exhibit number 2. What is the document in front of you right now?
The Village of University Park special meeting agenda.
And the next page, is that the minutes?
It states minutes at the next page.
Now, at this special meeting, which was on September 25th, 2015, did the board consider the proposal by Michael Realty?
I don't understand your question, and when you say consider.
It was up to vote. In order to be approved, was it voted on?
Okay, that's more of the question. If that's when we took action, the board did vote. I'm just looking to make sure that I got the dates right. The board did make a vote.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that this is the time when the vote was cast.
Okay.
Just to speed this along. If you don't, Right at the bottom there. There.
You got it.
All right, just want to make sure. Yeah.
I just want.
Yeah, listen.
I'm not asking
I don't remember
about
a lot of
I
this
wanted to
stuff,
ask
man.
more about the proposal, but you didn't seem to remember the date, so that's
Yeah,
why we
I just
brought
want to
this
make
out.
sure, yes.
Okay, now I'm going back to the contract, which is exhibit number 1. Now, in exhibit number 1, this was a proposal to manage the facility, correct?
Correct.
Okay, did the proposal,
Aside for a moment.
did the
talk about that.
proposal have any kind of compensation that Michael Realty would be receiving?
Yes.
Okay, what was that monthly rate?
Let me read and see.
All right, it's the last page if you want to take a look at it.
Okay. Well, if it's on the last page, why do I got to say? I'm just going to read it.
All right,
Okay, the agreement, 10-year engagement contract. MR management fee was $42,000 per month. That's what it reads here on the document you have provided for me.
okay, perfect. Now, was this going to give a cost savings to the village?
I don't know.
Previously, you said that the village was incurring substantial losses operating the facility on its own, correct?
Correct.
And those substantial losses were approximately $80,000 a month?
That I don't remember.
Okay.
That I don't remember.
Was there also a profit-sharing portion of this contract that would be going back to the village in the proposal?
That was in the proposal.
I can show you the section. Okay. Did you disseminate this proposal to the other board trustees?
No.
Who disseminated this
Legal
proposal?
counsel.
Legal counsel.
What now?
Wait, whoa, slow down. I think maybe go back to your first question, which was,
Did you
maybe-
pass around this contract to the other trustees prior to the September 25th meeting?
No.
Did you in any way support this proposal prior to the September 25th
Look at the vote.
meeting? I understand you voted for it, we're gonna get to that part, but I'm saying, prior to the proposal, were you a proponent? Were you in favor of this contract, or this proposal being approved by the village?
Yes.
And why was that?
Cost effective,
Okay, so it was gonna have cost savings to the village.
potentially.
Okay, now you did do research prior to this proposal, is that correct?
No,
You did no due diligence.
no.
So how did you come to the conclusion that this was gonna save the village a lot of money?
With the advice and consent from the finance department.
Which person from the finance department?
You gotta give me a minute, because there was a lot of changes going on in that village hall.
You know, a lady by the name of Miss Floyd?
That was one of the people that might have been there at that time. I don't remember exactly who that person was.
Okay, so Mr. Roudez, do you have a habit of making decisions without researching or investigating it?
No,
Okay, so it's fair to say that you actually looked into this a little bit before you voted on it, correct?
I'll object, asked and answered. He said that he didn't.
I'm gonna stick with the first answer.
So you did no research?
I took the advice and consents of the finance department.
Okay. So you ultimately voted in favor of the proposal, is that correct?
Yes,
And the proposal passed. Was there any special designation as to how it passed?
when you say special designation,
Was it considered a contract pending attorney approval, or was it still a proposal?
that would be a question for the former legal counsel.
And that former legal counsel is who?
It was either Montana and Welch or Oderson and Sturt, one of the two
Attorneys.
Okay.
were the two attorneys?
Montana and Welch is one firm. The other one is Odelson, Odelson, and Sturk, Sterk.
Got it, thank you.
Now, going back to the special meeting, because I just want to clear this up. Did you take the lead in placing this contract on the agenda, this proposal on the agenda?
No. And when you ask take the lead,
I'm saying, were you one of the people pushing this to get on the agenda?
the mayor sets the agenda.
I understand, but the trustees can also email the mayor or call the mayor and say, hey, I'd like to get something on the agenda. Is that correct?
Correct.
Was the mayor in favor of this proposal?
No.
Was the mayor in favor of placing this proposal on the agenda?
I don't remember.
Do you happen to remember who was in favor of placing this on the agenda?
I don't remember.
Was it one of the trustees if it wasn't you?
Possibly. I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Okay. I can refresh your recollection by showing your affidavit if you'd like.
Sure.
Okay. I can attach your affidavit as
Here, let
Exhibit
me
3.
hand you that one.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 3. I'm going to turn your attention, first of all, review it, make sure that I'm not doing anything. Is this true and accurate reflection of your affidavit? On page 5, did you sign it and have it notarized? Okay.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to turn your attention to paragraph number 4.
What page?
It's page 2, paragraph number 4. You state, and I'm going to read this for the record, from February through September 25, 2015, I performed substantial due diligence of MRM and participated in town meetings, workshops, and board meetings discussing MRM as the potential manager. Do you remember that?
Not really.
Does that refresh your recollection in any way?
No.
So I'm going to ask another, question, which is probably going to get objected to. Do you randomly sign and notarize documents without reading them?
Objection, form, foundation.
Question again?
Do you sign documents without first reading them?
I've done it before. No.
Just answer the question.
No.
Mayor.
So which is true? You perform no due diligence or you perform substantial due
I
diligence?
took the advice from the finance department. This was a financial matter, and if the finances worked in favor of the village, I took the advice and consent of the finance department.
So from February 2015 through September 25, 2015, this is basically a lie, what you're saying. You did no due diligence.
Objection, form. I'm not going to have him answer that.
I would say go ahead and answer it. Your objection is noted for the record. Is this a lie?
Due diligence was me taking the advice and consent of the finance department.
Got it. Now, number 9 specifically states, and I'm going to read this for the record, immediately prior to September 25, 2015, and in accordance with standard operating procedures of the village, I received a copy of the village's published agenda of items to be considered for the board action, which included the contract. Is that correct?
Correct.
Did you review the contract? The proposal, as we've been calling it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at that special board meeting, we don't have to read that, but at the special board meeting, did you guys vote on this proposal?
Yes.
And did the proposal pass?
Yes.
And was the proposal now passed as a contract, subject to attorney approval?
One more time.
After the vote was conducted by the board, was it now a binding contract subject to attorney
That's
approval?
not the language you used at first. Go back to the 1st
I'll
language.
use the first language.
Yes.
Was the proposal now a contract subject to attorney approval?
I don't understand the transition of proposal to contract.
Okay. In village matters, who decides when the village enters into contracts?
Legal counsel.
Legal counsel is your attorneys. They can't bind the village.
The
Who
bo-
binds the village?
The board votes on that.
Exactly. Now, can the mayor bind the village?
No.
Which entity binds the village?
The board of trustees.
And in this situation, the board voted in favor of the proposal, correct?
Yes.
And there was a caveat. There was apostrophes subject to attorney approval, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, at this board meeting, you were one of the trustees that voted for the contract.
Yes.
Do you remember who the other trustees were?
Oh, you showed testing the old guy. Let me see. Yes.
I can refresh your recollection if you
Yes.
like. Okay, who were those trustees? You want to look at paragraph 10 of your affidavit? Or you want to look at the
Trustee,
meetings?
I want to get it right and be honest all the time. Myself, Trustee Griffin, Trustee Larry Brown, and Trustee Milton Payton.
I believe that is what your affidavit says, and
Yes.
that's what the minutes say.
Yes.
Okay, did anyone vote no for the proposal?
Yes.
Do you remember who those people were?
Covington and I would think Paula Wilson.
Okay, now, do you happen to know why Covington was not in favor of the contract?
No.
Was she in any way vested with the management or operation of the facility?
I don't know.
Did she receive any compensation?
I don't know. Let me finish the question.
Did she receive any compensation or any benefits from the current operation of the facility?
I don't know.
But she was against the proposal. Yes or no?
What do you didn't ask me anything. You just
I
told
said,
me that
but she was against the proposal.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you. But she was against the proposal, correct?
She voted no.
Did she offer any reasons why?
No.
She just voted no without any explanation. Is that correct?
She voted no.
Okay. Now, after this contract was approved by the village, in your opinion, was it a binding contract?
Objection calls for a legal conclusion, but you can answer it if you understood it.
I didn't have an opinion. It passed by the board.
Okay. And after it passed by the board, based on your knowledge, what was left to be done with the contract?
I don't know. After we did our action, it's all up to legal counsel to do the rest.
And what you mean by the rest, what exactly do you mean?
Whatever was undone, because I noticed that it says prior to any changes or amendments to it. So after the board voted on it, we were basically out of it.
Okay, and when you mean out of it, what exactly do you mean by you were out of it after it was?
As you say, we've done our due diligence, and we've voted and supported the opportunity.
Okay, so as far as you were concerned, that matter had been resolved and Michael Realty was retained as the operators of the facility.
Yes.
Okay. And to further the question, the contract needed to be fine-tuned by the attorneys. Is that correct?
Okay.
Is that correct, yes or no?
I don't know, fine tune. I don't know.
Okay, so after the board passed approved the contract, it was left to the attorneys, you said. What was left to the attorneys?
In the proposal, in the ordinance of the meeting,
Yes?
No,
I believe I
here.
have
it
it.
was exhibit, yeah.
Plaintiff's Exhibit 2.
It clearly states approval of University Golf Club and Convention Center Management Agreement subject to changes and approval of village attorney.
Okay, all right. And at the time, who was the village attorney?
Let me see. At that same meeting, the appointment came of Odelson and Stirk.
So,
Prior to that, it was Montana and Welch. And the transition,
so, post the meeting of September 25th, the attorney review would have been done by Odelson and Stirk. Is that correct?
not post, pre.
So they were before,
Montana and Welch was before.
I understand, but we said after this meeting that was held on September 25th, 2015, Odelson and Stirk was the attorney that was going to be reviewing
Yes.
and approving and whatever else you said.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Be showing you what I'll mark as plaintiff's exhibit number 4. Are you familiar with this document, sir?
Familiar would not be the right term. Seen, yes.
Okay, so you've seen this document before. It is a rider to the agreement as dated as of September 22nd, 2015, between the Village of University Park and Michael Realty Management. Is that a fair assessment as to what this is?
One more time.
I'm just reading the title on the top of the page.
Oh, okay. So what was the question? If you're just reading it, just a
I
statement.
said, is it the rider to the agreement dated as of September 22nd, 2015?
Yes.
Between the Village of University Park and Michael Realty Management. Now, do you know who prepared this rider?
No.
I can tell you that it was Felicia Frazier of Odelson and Stirk. Would that surprise you?
No.
Okay. Was this one of numerous riders that was disseminated between the parties?
Is there a time frame you can tighten that up to?
Well, September 22nd, 2015 is listed on the top of the rider around in the month of September.
So your question is this the only one, or were there multiple writers?
Were there multiple riders?
I don't remember.
Okay, let me ask a different question. While the contract was placed on the agenda and being approved by the Board of Trustees, were there riders going back and forth between the village and Michael Realty?
I don't remember.
Did the board have any knowledge that the attorneys, the village attorneys, were distributing back and forth various riders?
I'll object only in speculation. You asked the board, it's made up of multiple people, so
Okay.
he would know what he knows, but not necessarily what everybody else on the board knows.
Understood.
The question again, sir?
Were you aware that the village attorney,
No.
okay,
No, I heard the question.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. Yeah.
just for the record, let me just get the whole
Let him get
question
the whole
out,
thing out,
so that
and
way
then
we have
you'll
a
answer
clean
it.
record, okay?
Perfect.
Were you aware that the village attorney was distributing various riders with Michael Realty?
No.
Okay. Now, did you happen to personally meet with the village attorneys and Michael Realty during the September 2015 timeframe?
I don't remember.
You don't remember going to Odelson and Stirk's office and having conversations with Robert and George Michael regarding the golf course?
I don't remember, Doc.
Are you reading your affidavit?
I'm reading section number 22.
Well, I can refer you to number 20, paragraph 20, if you want to take a look.
I'm reading it.
So let me ask a question. Do you now recall having meetings at the law offices of Odelson and Stirk with various trustees and village attorneys regarding the Michael Realty contract?
One more time, because I'm reading, so I'm kind of distracted. And you're right about reading some shit, and then somebody makes up themselves, and then I have to sign off on it, and then some of this stuff is inaccurate, but I got my signature on it, so it's all good for the record.
So are you trying to say that this affidavit is not your words?
I didn't create this affidavit, no.
Once again, I'm asking, why would you sign it then? Why would you have it notarized?
And I don't know about several meetings.
But there were meetings.
To be honest with you, remember. So,
Okay.
it's 2021, so much done happened in between there.
So, is it fair to say that when you drafted, or when you signed off on this affidavit, which I believe was in 2019, I'm trying to see what the date was. Sorry, January 17th, 2018, is it fair to say that your recollection was a lot stronger back in 2018 than it is in 2021, because it has been a long time? Is that a fair statement to say?
No. Say it again?
Well, you said that it's been such a long time when this happened that you don't remember. Was it fair to say that in 2018, your recollection was a lot stronger than it is in 2021?
Possibly.
Okay. Now, is it also fair to say that in 2015, and as recently as 2018, you were in favor of the Michael proposal / contract to manage and operate the facility?
Are you asking me a question?
Yeah.
What's the question?
I said, is it fair to say that as of September 2015 and as recently as January 2018, you were in favor of Michael Realty managing and operating the facility?
I was a part of the Board of Trustees that voted yes.
So you were in favor of it? That's a yes or no question.
I was a member of the Board of Trustees that voted yes.
Okay. Would you vote yes if you were not in favor of it?
No.
Okay. And Mr. Roudez, you seem like a very sharp guy. Would you vote yes for something that you were not in favor of?
No.
Okay. Now, turning our attention back to that rider, which I believe is Plaintiff's Exhibit number 4, I want to draw your attention to paragraph R-8. Do you want to read that for the record, or you want me to read it out loud for the record? Do you want to read it, or do you want me to do it? Okay. R8, titled Termination. The village reserves the right at any time, and it's an absolute discretion, to terminate the services of the MRM for any reason or for no reason at all by giving 90 days written notice to MRM. Is that a true reflection of what is written?
Yes.
Now, is it fair to say that this rider was going to supplement the terms of the contract as it was prepared by the village attorneys?
Objection as to form.
I don't know.
Okay, let me break it down a little bit. If the village attorneys prepared this rider, is it fair to say that this was going to supplement the contract that was approved by the village on September 25th, 2015?
Objection, it's an incomplete hypothetical.
I don't know. The village board only voted one time.
And it voted to approve the contract subject to attorney approval, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, if this rider was drafted by the village attorneys, is it fair to say that this rider would supplement the contract that was approved?
I don't know.
Were these riders shown to the village? I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Were these riders by the village attorney disseminated to the village board of trustees?
I don't remember.
Did you engage in any conversations with the village attorney regarding these riders?
Possibly.
Okay. Did the village board help or assist the village attorney in preparing these riders?
I don't remember.
Should the village attorney just out of the blue make its own terms, or did they get comments from the trustees?
Most likely they got a few comments. I don't remember.
Okay. After the September 25th, 2015 meeting that approved Michael Realty as the operator of the facility, was the operation of the facility turned over to Michael Realty?
Yes.
When was that?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Would October 1st, 2015
I don't remember.
refresh your recollection?
I don't remember the dates, nor the time.
Well, isn't it true that you met with Robert Michael and then Mayor Vivian Covington at the facility on October 1st when Ms. Covington gave the keys and operation to the facility over to Michael Realty?
I was not present.
Did she direct the staff at the facility that Michael Realty was the new operator of the facility? Meaning Vivian Covington. Did she direct the staff?
That's a question for Covington. I don't know what she directed.
Okay, so you weren't there.
Right.
Did you ever Okay, I'm going to refresh your recollection by going back to Plaintiff's Exhibit Number 3, which is your affidavit. I'm going to refer to you to paragraph 22. Can you please read that first line?
On October 1st, 2015, I attended a meeting with Robert Michael and Mayor Vivian Covington, where I was aware Mr. Michael reported as directed to the village to accept possession of the facility.
Under the terms and conditions of the contract as passed?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so does that refresh your recollection? Did you attend that meeting?
No, she never showed up.
Okay. Did you meet Vivian Covington at the City Hall then, on that day?
No.
So you never met Vivian Covington at all on October 1st regarding the facility? Is that a yes or no?
I'm just trying to think. That's not a person. No, I don't remember.
Okay. But in 2018, you seem to remember, and you put it in your affidavit. Is that fair to say?
It was put in the affidavit,
By who?
whoever created it.
So you did not create this?
No,
Do you know who created this?
no.
So you just randomly signed a document without reading it?
Objection form.
Yes or no?
I'm not answering that question.
Okay.
We done been there too many times.
Got you. Got you. All right. So, on or about October 1st, 2015, Michael Realty assumed the operation and management of the facility. Is that fair to say?
Yes,
Okay. Now, did they hold any events at the facility once they took over?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember a Steppers event that was held at the facility in early October of 2015?
There, yes,
Okay, and was Michael Realty operating the facility while that Steppers event was going forward?
The stepper set was a every Friday thing, and it was an independently run operation.
But the operation was while Michael Realty had assumed control of the facility, correct?
let me ask you a question. What day was it when they took over the facility?
You just testified it was October 1st.
No,
or
what date?
about-
No, not the date, the exact day.
The exact day, I have no idea. I can look on my calendar.
Well, September 25, 2015 was a Friday.
Okay, that's the day of the stepper sets, every Friday.
So they took over on October, oops, I'm looking at the wrong time.
October 1st would have been a Thursday, wouldn't it?
Yes, so on a Thursday, they took over, and either that Friday or the Friday after, there was a Steppers event, because there's a Steppers event on every Friday, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. Did you become aware of the fact that Michael Realty had terminated an individual by the name of Paul Dixon from his employment at the facility?
yes.
Who was Paul Dixon?
Employee at the golf course.
What kind
Sorry,
of,
he was,
Employee of the golf course.
gotcha.
and what position did he hold at the golf course?
I have no idea.
Do you happen to have, did he happen to have any other kind of relationship with the village?
Not to my knowledge.
Did he happen to have any kind of relationship with Vivian Covington?
I can't speak on someone else's relationship. I don't know.
Well, you were board trustee, did you notice?
I don't know the personal people. That's her personal business.
Okay. Did you happen to know that Michael Realty terminated Paul Dixon from the
Yes.
facility? Do you happen to know why he was terminated?
Yes.
Why? Can you tell us?
Theft.
So Paul Dixon was accused of stealing,
Yes.
and did the board reinstate Mr. Dixon's employment?
The board does not deal with day-to-day operations or employees or employment issues. We're
Okay.
a legislative body.
Got it. Was Mr. Dixon subsequently reinstated by the village?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Is it fair to say that if anyone would be reinstating his employment, it would not have been the board?
Correct.
Would the board have approved his reinstatement?
Not a board, not a policy issue.
Okay. I'm trying to refresh your recollection here. Is it fair to say that Vivian Covington, the then mayor, reinstated Paul Dixon as an employee of the facility?
Did she?
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
So he just,
That's a day-to-day operational management function. It's not under the scope of a legislator.
Okay.
So a village manager has the authority of day-to-day operations, employment, hiring, and firing.
Okay, so let's kind of back up on this. So, Mr. Dixon was fired. That is what you testified to, correct?
Correct.
And Mr. Dixon was subsequently reinstated. Is that correct?
Again, I don't know.
You don't know if he was reinstated?
No.
Okay. But you do know that he was fired for theft?
Yes.
Got it. Now, turning your attention to the next regularly scheduled board meeting, which was on October 13, 2015, and I've got the agenda and minutes if you need them. That was on October 13th, 2015. Do you remember what happened on that meeting regarding Michael Realty and the contract?
No.
Okay. Was there an occasion where the board met with the village attorney, specifically Felicia Frazier?
You saying at the meeting, prior to the meeting?
At the
Okay.
meeting. Did Felicia Frazier appear at the meeting?
Yes.
And did she opine in open record about the contract with Michael Realty?
I don't remember. And showing me a piece of paper not gonna make me remember.
No. You're gonna-
But you have to remember the answer to his question, not the piece of paper. Hey, Dan?
Yes.
It's 3:40, is that right? What time
No,
is it?
it's a little.
It's 3:45, a little bit over. You want to take a break?
Yeah, let's take
before
a
you get
break.
to that,
I'll
and
need
then-
some water anyways.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the time is 3:45. We're going off the record.
Thank you. Don't
the
forget to take
restroom.
off your
Oh, yeah.
microphone.
Hit the restroom, get some water. There you go. Go bathroom.
The time is 3:57. We're going back on the record. Please proceed, counsel.
All right, so, Mr. Roudez, after Paul Dixon was reinstated by the facility, in the facility, did you become aware that Michael Realty was terminated as the operator of the facility?
One more time.
Okay, so Michael Dixon was terminated from the facility and he was reinstated, correct?
Paul Dixon.
I'm sorry, Paul Dixon.
I don't know about the reinstatement.
Okay, I can refer you back to your, actually, no. Okay. No. So, let's back up. Okay, so, when did you discover that Michael Realty had been terminated as the operator of the facility?
I don't remember.
Did the board vote on terminating the operations of Michael Realty as the operator of the facility?
No.
Do you happen to know how Michael Realty was terminated?
No.
So they just disappeared without any explanation?
I don't know how.
On the October 13 meeting, did the village attorney Felicia Frazier instruct the board that the material terms of the contract as passed were binding? Are you looking at any document to recollect your memory?
I'm reviewing Exhibit 3.
Okay. Which paragraph specifically?
Do you have a copy of that?
I have a copy
For a
of,
written opinion?
I do not have a copy of a written opinion. I'm asking you, do you recollect speaking or hearing from Miss Felicia Frazier on the October 13th meeting? Okay, I'm gonna ask the question again. On the October 13th, 2015 meeting, Board of Trustees meeting, did Felicia Frazier, who is the village attorney, instruct the board that the material terms of the contract as passed was binding?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
But on January 17th, 2018, when you signed this affidavit, you stated that village attorney Felicia Frazier instructed the board that the material terms of the contract as passed, including the terms and amount, was binding.
Okay,
It's in your affidavit.
okay.
So now you don't remember.
I don't.
Okay. And
Don't put your coffee on there,
Yeah.
because this has got
This
to
is
go
the- yeah,
part
this
of the
is-
record.
Yeah, this is the real record. I'll give you something else if you'd like.
I got you something. All right. All right, thank you.
Okay. And did the board empower or request from the village attorney to prepare a legal opinion, a written legal opinion regarding the contract?
I believe so.
Did you review that legal written opinion?
I don't remember.
I'm not asking you for its contents because it might be
I don't remember.
subject to attorney-client privilege, but I'm saying, did you review that opinion?
I don't remember.
Okay. Again, leading back to your affidavit, on paragraph number 27, you state that you read the opinion, and the opinion concluded that the contract was binding upon the village. Do you remember testifying to that in your affidavit? Signed by you, yes.
And the question once again, please?
So, again, did you put that in your affidavit? That you read the opinion and that the opinion concluded that the contract was binding upon the village?
No, I did not put it in the affidavit.
So you just randomly signed it? I know, objection.
Objection, form.
Yeah, got it. Yes or no?
Restate the question.
But you still signed the affidavit?
Restate the question, please.
But you still signed the affidavit?
Restate the question.
Okay. Yet, did you still sign the affidavit if you disagreed with what was written into it? Or why, let me ask that question better. Why would you sign an affidavit if you don't agree with what was written in it?
They have to come with a better question.
Okay,
Dan.
why would you sign an affidavit,
Today, on the 13th of July, I don't remember.
but on January 17th, 2018, you remembered enough to sign the affidavit, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, after the village somehow terminated Michael Realty as operator, who was operating the facility?
After, state the question again.
After Michael Realty was terminated as the operator of the facility, who was operating the facility?
If my memory serves me right, it would be Billy Casper Golf.
Was that an immediate transition, or was there a period of...
I don't remember.
Okay. Now, let's back up just a second. You testified earlier that the board did not vote to terminate Michael Realty. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you also testified that you don't know who terminated Michael Realty. Is that a fair question? A fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. Would it help you if I said that Vivian Covington, the then mayor, fired the Michael Realty Group?
Would it help me?
Yeah, it would help to refresh your recollection.
Excuse me.
I don't remember.
Okay, can the mayor, I mean, you're the sitting mayor right now, can the mayor unilaterally terminate contracts?
I can't.
Well, it's because you're following proper procedures, correct?
Yes.
Who is the only body that can approve or terminate contracts?
The legislative body.
Which is the board,
The legislative body.
which again, for the Village of University Park, is the Board of Trustees.
I'll refer to them as we refer to the golf course as the facility. I'll refer to them as the legislative body.
Got it. Okay, so if I hear legislative body, I assume it's the Board of
Bingo.
Trustees. Got it. Okay. Now, you testified that that Billy Casper was replaced, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. You testified that Billy Casper replaced Michael Realty as the operator of the facility, correct?
Yes.
Did you guys, as the legislative body, as the board, get any bids from other operators at the time?
Yes.
And was Billy Casper's rate, let me rephrase that. What was Billy Casper's monthly rate?
I don't remember.
Did the village spend more or less than $42,000 a month while Billy Casper was operating the facility?
I don't remember.
Was Billy Casper also the one that was operating the food and beverage portion of the facility?
Yes.
There wasn't another entity that was representing or was operating the food and beverage portion?
No.
I didn't make copies of this because I thought you remember. Was there an entity by the name of Crimson 4 Group, K4G, which was the food and beverage qualified management of the facility? Does that refresh your recollection?
When?
I believe this contract was dated March 1st, 2019.
You want to silence that?
I wasn't in office.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't know what the hell was going on there. I was a regular citizen there.
Gotcha. But do you happen to know what the monthly rate, you said you don't happen to know what the Billy Casper's monthly rate was for operating the facility?
Correct.
Did the village receive any profit sharing from Billy Casper while it was operating the
I
facility?
don't remember.
Did you review any of the financials regarding the facility while you were trustee?
Most likely.
But as of today's date, you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Okay. Now, you ran for mayor and became mayor of the Village of University Park in 2019. Is that correct?
Yes.
At the time that you became mayor, who was operating the facility?
May 15th. Crimson 4.
Was it just Crimson 4, or was it Billy Casper and Crimson 4?
It was a combination of both.
So you were paying, as a village, not you personally, were paying Billy Casper to manage the golf course portion of the facility, and Crimson 4, the food and beverage portion of the facility. Is that correct?
Safe to assume, but just for the record, let me just give you a real brief history lesson.
Go ahead.
Those people were brought in prior to me winning the election and being sworn in, so I have no recollection of their figures or anything. As a trustee, Billy Casper, when I left the board, had the whole facility.
So anything after then, when I came out of office in 2017, I have no recollection of it. I have no idea, and I have any comments or questions regarding on that.
Okay, so now, once you became mayor, it was in your best interest as a village to rectify the situation because you were paying two separate entities management fees to operate the facility. Is that a fair statement?
Yes,
And that was costing the village a ton of money. Is that correct? Having two separate facilities.
no,
Okay, so why did you decide to change course and award the facility to someone else?
I always operate in the best interest of the village and the residents of this community. They were not the best, it was not the best interest of the community to have continued people having a split house.
Okay, and is it also fair to say that having two operators also cost the village more money than having,
No,
so why would you make a change other than to save the village funds?
best interest of the community.
And can you elaborate on what the best interest of the community is?
To operate an efficient restaurant and golf course facility, and that was not happening.
Okay. Did you consider at any point reinstating Michael Realty as the operator of the facility?
There were additional proposals presented to the village board
Okay.
by Michael Realty to resolve the issues regarding the lawsuit.
Okay. Was that the only reason you were considering Michael Realty was because of this pending lawsuit?
No, we listened to everyone.
Okay. Did you happen to have any meetings or conversations with Robert Michael directly, personally, regarding the reinstatement of Michael Realty as the operator of the facility?
Robert Michael being,
Bob Michael.
okay, I don't know him as Robert Michael.
I'll refer to him as Bob Michael if it makes it easier. for you.
Yeah, because I think he hit, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Now, what's the question again, please?
Okay. Did you happen to have any personal meetings with Bob Michael regarding the reinstatement of Michael Realty as the operator of the facility?
I don't understand the question.
Did you meet with him
When?
at any point in time since you became mayor?
No,
So in April, late April, early May of 2021, you didn't meet Bob Michael and Jerry Geneva to discuss the reinstatement of Michael Realty as the operator of the facility?
When was that?
Late April, early May of 2021,
Late April.
at a Bar
Early
Louie
May.
in Madison,
I
Illinois.
was not the mayor then.
Okay. Immediately prior to you becoming mayor,
May I interrupt?
restate that. Okay. So, when did you discover that you had won the election as mayor of University Park?
it would have to been late April when the votes were certified.
Okay, but prior to them being certified, you had discovered that you had won the election.
Possibly. There were still a number of votes out there to be counted, so there was no clear certain winner at that time.
Okay, so at that time,
Dane, what year are you referring to?
2021. I'm
This
sorry,
year.
2019. Sorry,
Okay.
2019.
Okay.
I apologize. I'm correct. I said 2021, I should have said 2019. I had the wrong date here, I apologize. Okay, so in April, late April, early May, when you knew that you were mayor, but yet not yet become mayor, did you happen to have a meeting with Bob Michael and Jerry Geneva regarding the reinstatement of Michael Realty as the operator of the facility?
And when?
2019. late April?
Now, just for the record now, Bar Louie was my hangout.
Yes.
They know when I would be there every now and then, so it was not a scheduled meeting. If they came in and we had conversation, it was not a scheduled meeting to be there.
That's fine.
So
but-
I don't actually remember,
Okay.
but I know that Bob Michael has continuously asked about, he says that is his golf course and that he wants it back. Bob Michael has also come into my community and held various meetings in community bot clubs and slandered and used defamatory language toward my name. I have also received threatening emails and language stating about people being put in cars and bodies being cut up, and that Bob Michael was also indicted by the federal agencies, and that he bragged and boasted that they're not going to touch me
Can we-
because I have the
can we
money
get
to
back-
do this.
can we
So
back-
I'm going to tell you the whole thing because I want this on the doggone record. I'm in fear for my life the majority of the time I walk out, and they continuously
Roudez,
call
you've
my
got your-
neighbors and say horrible things about me and says that he
No,
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 no.
you can't take pictures in here. No.
No.
We're not recording anything. There's a videographer
Okay,
here.
time out. You've got your attorney that can ask follow-up questions if you'd like. Let's just kind of stick to the questions here, and then your attorney can rehabilitate you in any way he sees fit.
There, I'll ask you questions at the end, okay?
Yes.
Yes, that's fine, it's fair. Okay, so let's get back to this Bar Louie meeting. Now, that was your regular hangout, you stated, Bar Louie in Madison. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you had an occasion to meet Bob and Jerry at your regular hangout, correct?
I was there.
Okay. Do you remember what was discussed?
No.
Did you discuss with Bob and Jerry about reinstating Michael Realty as the golf course operator?
I never made any comments. I just listened.
Oh, you just listened, okay. Did you in any way, shape, or form request any compensation from Bob or Jerry to have Michael Realty reinstated as the operator of the facility?
No.
Did you ask for any political contributions to have Michael Realty reinstated as the operator?
No.
Do you happen to have occasions of worrying about Bob Michael wearing a wire?
I'll object on the basis of foundation.
The foundation is, are you concerned that Bob Michael is wired up?
What do you mean?
Have you spoken to various people with your concerns regarding whether Bob Michael is wired by the FBI or other federal investigators?
You know what? I'm going to object. I'm going to tell him under his Fifth Amendment rights that he's not going to answer that question. He's not going to answer it. Move on.
Does he want to plead the fifth? He can plead the fifth.
Plead the Fifth
I plead the
on
fifth.
advice of counsel.
Okay.
On the advice of my counsel.
You're pleading the fifth. Got you. Okay. Was Mr. Genova present when you asked Mr. Michael for a $20,000 bribe if you became mayor to facilitate Mr. Michael being awarded the golf course contract again?
Never happened.
Okay. I would have listened to my counsel first. Did you direct Michael Realty to meet with the Ohio group at Columbus, Ohio?
No.
You never told Bob Michael or Jerry Genova to fly to Columbus, Ohio and meet with the Ohio group?
No.
Who is currently operating the facility?
CHW management.
And who is CHW Management?
That's who they are.
Are they the Ohio group?
CHW management.
Are they from Ohio?
Some people of them are.
Is CHW Management comprised of Carlos Estes?
No.
Is it comprised of Sonia Coffey?
Yes.
What is the monthly rate that CHW Management is charging the village to manage the facility?
It's 48.
Does that include the golf course and the food and beverage, or is it just the golf course?
Golf course,
Is there a separate contract for the food and beverage?
yes.
Who has that contract?
CHW,
And how much are they charging for the food and beverage?
$3,000 a month. Let me see. Yeah, something like, they took over pretty much the same rate, about $3,000 a month.
So in total, you're paying $51,000 a month as a village for the golf course and the food and beverage. Is that correct?
Yes,
Does CHW management also charge any other expenses to the village?
no,
A grand total of $51,000 is paid by the village to CHW for the operation of the golf course. Is that correct?
one more time.
Okay, let me rephrase
There are
that.
two separate
Understood.
entities.
Understood. I'm just doing simple math here. You said it was $48,000 to CHW management to operate the golf course and $3,000 a month to operate the food and beverage. By my simple math, that's $51,000 a month.
No. It's $48,000 golf course, $3,000 a month for the management of the $4,000, maybe $4,000. I'm not sure some of those figures, $3,000 or $4,000. And then every quarter there's a $15,000 deposit. It's basically very similar to the Crimson Four.
Okay. Do you also pay for the travel expenses of CHW management to come from Ohio to Illinois?
No,
So there's no travel expenses that are covered by the village.
no.
Now, how is Carlos Estes involved in this arrangement?
I don't know.
Do you happen to know who Carlos Estes is?
Yes,
Who is Carlos Estes?
Carlos Estes.
Yes, who is he? To you. How do you know him?
He is a friend of mine.
A childhood friend?
Yes,
Okay, and do you trust him implicitly?
I trust no one implicitly, just God.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Was he involved in acquiring the operation of the golf course for CHW management?
No,
Did the village engage Carlos Estes in any way, shape, or form to solicit bids for the operation of the facility?
no,
So Carlos Estes was not engaged in any way, shape, or form by the village regarding this operation?
correct.
Was Carlos Estes engaged by Joe Roudez personally in any way, shape, or form?
No,
Was Carlos Estes engaged in any way, shape, or form by the village for anything, let alone?
no,
Was this golf course operation put out for bids, or was CHW management the only person that was solicited?
it was procurement.
Okay, can you explain what procurement is?
At least two people have to come out with it.
Who was the other person you procured bids from?
Oh, there were actually two or three other groups. I don't remember the names.
Okay. Is there a particular reason why CHW management was selected as opposed to the two or three other bids that you don't remember their names?
The board's decision.
Based on my simple calculations, the board's decision is costing the village more than what the Michael Realty contract would have been. Is that a fair statement?
No,
And why is that?
because there's a cap on what we would pay out to the golf course, and the cap is $700,000 a year.
Okay,
And it might not be that much. I don't even think we went to the cap.
okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the Michael Realty contract was $42,000 a month. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that was capped at 42 times 12, which is a lot less than $700,000 a month.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Say it again? Because you're making statements, not asking
I'm
me
not making
questions.
statements. I'm saying, here, I'm gonna just do a simple calculation on my calculator. So, the Michael
It's
Realty.
504.
Let's not get an answer. So, here's my calculator. The Michael Realty contract was capped at $42,000 a month, which brings the entire cap annually to $504,000. Is that a fair statement? 42,000 times 12 equals 504,000. Yes or no?
I don't have my calculator. Is that the right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Okay. On the flip side, the CHW management contract is capped at $700,000 a year.
No, not their contract. The expenses that the village will go, we would not exceed over a certain dollar amount. It's not their contract. The village would not exceed a certain amount. There's only a certain amount budgeted for the operations of the golf course.
Okay, I'm gonna do a simple calculation. I'm gonna do $51,000 times 12 equals $612,000. And then you said there was a $15,000 quarterly payment on top of that, which puts an additional $60,000. So you're at $672,000. So CHW management is costing the village $672,000 a year versus $504,000 a year with Michael Realty. Is that a fair statement?
The numbers are the numbers. But it's a great savings from the multitude of dollars that we were spending before.
Understood. You were spending $800,000 before. So going down to $672,000 is a great savings. But going down to $504,000 is an even substantial more savings. Correct?
The numbers are the numbers.
Exactly. Well, the numbers are the numbers. Now, is it also fair to say that the reason why you decided to go with CHW management was because they were somehow compensating you for this contract? Is that correct?
No,
So you don't receive any compensation from CHW management?
no,
Nothing under the table?
no,
No kickbacks?
no,
And Mr. Estes is not helping you in any way, shape, or form to get some of these monies to you?
no.
Now I'm going to show you what I'm going to mark as plaintiff's exhibit. I think we're in 5. Are you familiar with campaign disclosures that are required by the Illinois State Board of Elections?
Yep.
Okay.
Dan, was this produced in Discovery?
No, I just printed it off it's a public record. I printed it off yesterday. I can produce it if you'd like.
Well, I'd like to know what it is. I mean, you're showing it to me right now when you're about to ask him questions about it. A little
This is-
advance notice would have been nice.
Understood. This is a public documents that are filed by all elected officials, anybody that's running for an elected position. This is off the website, Friends of Joseph E. Roudez III. And these are his filings. I'm just public records off the Illinois State Board of Elections website.
Which were not produced, which were clear, were never produced in Discovery, never referenced in any of your disclosures whatsoever.
That's clear.
Even though this case has been going on for 5 years.
This was recent. The case.
Okay, what's the date of these? 2019?
2019 is the earliest
All right.
date, all the
So-
way through.
So as far back
2020.
as 2019, these were available and you never bothered to bring them out until you have them under oath and without any notice to us. I just want that to be clear.
That's fine, it's clear.
Okay.
100%. Got it. And I'm not putting these for any kind of testamentary evidence other than to,
To try and embarrass him?
no, not at all. Not to try and embarrass him, to try to get to his veracity. Now, you're also familiar that you are required, as a candidate, to disclose any and all contributions, political contributions that you receive. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you do that normally by filing what's known as a D2, correct?
I'm going to object on the basis of relevance. What's the relevance of this stuff to the contract that your client has with the village.
This is, if you give me some leeway, I will explain how Joseph Roudez operates with receiving compensation off the books.
Then we're not going to have a deposition going forward. I'm going to end it right now.
That's fine. If you want to end it now, we can bring it in front of Judge Rickman.
That's
And I
fine.
will proceed.
We can bring it in front of Judge Rickman.
That's
I'm not
fine.
having him answer questions about election stuff on a case about your client's contract.
If you give me some leeway, we can.
Why don't we step out and talk about it
That's
for a
fine.
second?
Okay, so we can.
Okay, the time is 4:32. We're going off the record. The time is 4:40. We are continuing the deposition of Mayor Joseph E. Roudez III. And please proceed, counsel.
Got a conversation with defendant's counsel. We will be tabling this line of questions regarding the Board of Elections so we can go in front of Judge Rickman and have a ruling regarding these matters. Otherwise, the defendant will not proceed with their deposition. In the meantime, I'll ask other questions and we'll keep the deposition open pending this decision by Judge Rickman.
And just to be clear, the objection that's being advanced is the relevance of these, of the election stuff.
Understood.
I just want to make sure that's
Understood.
clear so that the judge
I
has
thought-
an objection to rule on.
I thought you put that on the record already. Okay. Has Bob Michael, ever provided any political donations to you?
Do you see him?
I'm not putting,
No, we're not, this is
discussing
not
the
part of it.
documents.
Yes,
Robert Michael has given you political donations before.
yes.
Okay,
$200.
okay. Have you ever used any of your political contributions as, in your personal matters, for your personal expenses?
Pardon me?
If you've received political donations, have you ever used them for your personal expenses or personal use?
No.
Have you ever been given cash that you have not reported as political contributions?
The law states anything under $1,000 does not have to go on D2s.
Okay. Yeah, we're not talking about the D2s, I'm just asking general questions. Okay. Did you receive any compensation, goods, or services from CHW Management Group to operate the facility?
Absolutely not, no.
Have you ever received any compensation, goods, or services from other contractors to provide work for the village of the University Park
Do you have a time frame you can limit the question to?
since you've been there?
No.
Who is the current village manager?
Ernestine Barry Beck Fulgham.
Do you happen to know what her salary is?
I do. Not to the penny ballpark.
What is the ballpark?
$140,000, something like that.
When she was retained, was her salary approximately $100,000? When she was first hired?
Somewhere in that ballpark area. I just can't nail the numbers exactly to the head. Somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay, and did you give her a $48,000 raise after she was hired as village manager?
The mayor cannot make any advances or give anybody any raises. No,
So who gave her a $48,000 raise?
she did not. receive a $48,000 raise.
She currently makes about 140, you said, and she started at 100,000.
The board approved her as the TIF administrator.
Okay. Does she provide any portion of her salary to you?
No,
Just asking. Okay. Previously, you had testified that you are employed as the village mayor and also the village liquor commissioner, correct?
yes,
And that you get paid approximately $23,000 as mayor and $6,000 as liquor commissioner, correct?
correct.
Okay. And that you work approximately, well, way more than 2,000 hours as mayor and less than 100
As
hours
mayor, I do this for,
full-time.
go ahead with your
Oh, yeah, I'm
question.
just saying, as mayor, you do this full-time, is that correct?
I put in my work.
You, way more than 2,000 hours a year. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, that's a pretty fair statement.
Okay. Now, by my calculations, that's more than 40 hours a week as mayor.
Okay,
Just doing simple math. 2,000 divided by 50,
that's your calculation.
okay? So now, you recently remodeled your house, correct?
No,
Your house is the same it's been since before you became mayor.
yeah,
Okay. You purchased a new Mercedes, is that correct?
no,
Are you leasing the Mercedes?
no,
So there's no GLK wagon Mercedes in your driveway?
yes,
And whose Mercedes is
that's
that?
my wife's.
Okay. What kind of work does your wife do?
She's self-employed and she works another job.
And what does she make annually?
She,
Dan, what's the relevance?
yes, she
Relevance is that ever since Mr. Roudez became mayor, he all of a sudden became flush with cash. That's the relevance.
What relevance is that to the allegations in your complaint?
That the only reason Michael Realty wasn't reinstated is because they didn't play ball and provide payments to Mr. Roudez.
Why don't we table this and we can go at this in front of Judge Rickman as well?
Okay, we can table this as well.
Okay,
I think we can table a lot of these questions.
that's fine.
Yeah, we can suspend the remainder of this deposition and conclude after we've had a discussion with Judge Rickman.
That's
Does that
fine.
work?
That's fine.
Okay, that's what we'll do. We're concluding the deposition as of right now, suspending it, and we'll talk before Judge Rickman before we continue with any more questions.
Okay. So, since media file number 2 was so short, we're going to make it just one media file. So the time is 4:48. We have reached a conclusion of the, we're suspending
Right.
the deposition of Mayor Joseph E. Roudez III. Custody of the original video record will remain with 321 legal video. We're going off the record.